We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the altcoin market. There are so many things about the altcoin market that are being said right now. So one of those is the altcoins are never going to come back because there are 10 million altcoins and all the money is being spread across the altcoins. I want to address that in particular. The other side is that the market is extremely negative and bearish about crypto and about altcoins. So let's also address that, because that usually tells us something. And then, of course, we have to address what is going on with Bitcoin at the moment to see what is going to happen to altcoins in the future and where we are in the cycle, of course, right? Cycle comparison is necessary to know what the heck is going on here. So, and then we are going to quickly talk about Veve as well, a little bit about Collectibles. I think there's one or the other thing to say, and about your favorite altcoin. So let's go, let's get this rolling. Make sure to stay all the way through. So good morning to each and every one of you. First things first, smash up the like button, very important if you haven't yet. Also consider subscribing to the channel, notifications on, and I want to thank my rare hodlers here at this moment, everyone who is here on the rare hodler screen. All the existing rare hodlers, don't forget to refresh if you haven't yet your subscription. And yeah, let's get this on. So let's see here. Troy Paris is here. Let's do it. Good morning, PH. Good morning to you as well. Advancing to the silver level. That is great. Patrick Bultman also here. GM. Which altcoin market? Yeah, exactly. So the altcoin market is really wrecked, full in the gutter, but no problem. And Blaze hates every days. Good morning to you as well. Good. So let's not hesitate much and jump right into the crypto action. But everyone who just joined, smash up the like button, please, please, please. Pretty please. And let's see here. So Bitcoin still ranging, right? There's only two things, how do you say, aggregates, like water going from solid into fluid, right? Or from fluid into gas. That is what Bitcoin also has. There is only range-bound Bitcoin action or explosive Bitcoin action, right? There's nothing in between. So we're waiting for the next big fat move on Bitcoin, and likely we are getting at least volatility, right? Whether it being to the downside or to the upside, latest by tomorrow. Reason being that Fed Chair Powell has a testimony tomorrow, 11th of February at 4 p.m. European time, like German time, which then is something between, which should be something like 10 in the morning or so in the US, right? So that could send the market, depending on what he says and what he's been asked about. And then we get the inflation rate year over year, month over month, core inflation also for both, right after, on the 12th of February, 2:30 p.m. and both of these have a good chance to send Bitcoin in either direction to its next support or overhead resistance. And I would say that if there's anything remotely bullish, that we might be challenging support at 106K again. Now, what that also tells us is all eyes are on Bitcoin at the moment, right? As the leader of the market, there is a little bit PPI, month-over-month, retail sales, that's not so important. And then we're just going into the next or into the later part of February with durable goods and GDP growth, ISM manufacturing, and so on, right? Unemployment rates, which is also important, right? So there might be until March a lot of volatility coming in all directions until we have clarity about the main drivers of the Fed policy, and therefore whether we are getting money printing or not, whether we are getting more rate cuts or not, right? So all of that will be resolved within the next 18 days or so, like 20 days. Okay, but let's look at some fundamentals for that, at least for Bitcoin, right? So one thing that points into a bigger move to the upside is that the Bitcoin left over on exchanges is fairly low, right? So it's really unnatural to have this level of availability of Bitcoin and still the price going down, screaming either manipulation or stupidity, right? But basically that calls for some kind of a supply shock fairly soon, right? I mean, if there's not much available, so either everyone has to sell to supply the demand of MicroStrategy, of ETFs, of nation states building a reserve, and so on, right? Or everyone is going to fight over this, and it has to be repriced, because if you say, okay, give me give me 50,000 Bitcoin and $95,000 and it's just not there, then okay, we have to increase the offer so that someone sells it to us, right? Meanwhile, that is provable on chain with the Bitcoin inflows, right? Inflows to accumulation addresses, the dynamic cohort, are extremely high since we have hit this sideways downwards, right? Especially here. Look at this. The funny thing is massive inflow, but price goes down, right? It's crazy. And it's nothing compared to when we had these inflows here. The funny thing is also that the whales tend to buy on this sideways choppy period. These inflows happen here. They happen here on the pumps, but also on these sideways, the first correction that there is attracts a mega spike of inflows, which is interesting to me at least. I would say also here you could say, well, that looks just like price manipulation. I mean, who the heck is selling right now? It doesn't make much sense, right, in the environment in that we are. So let's address the alt season a little bit and what could end the down phase in the alts that we have. Okay, so here's a nice one. There won't be an alt season. That's what everyone's saying. When has the majority ever been right in crypto? Never. Stay focused. Build your portfolio with fundamentals and risk management. The biggest rewards go to those who prepare while others fade away. And that is very true, and I would add a couple of things to that. But the first thing is that if the majority is convinced that one specific thing is happening, then usually it's not coming, at least not at that point. Maybe in the past, the majority was convinced that the alt season is happening now, and it didn't. Now everyone is convinced that the alt season is not going to happen this time, and the argument is that there are now 11 million altcoins, and obviously the money is going to scatter across all of those, right? So if you're looking at all our coins here, right, despite XCN, everything else is basically red, right? If you open the market tab here, you see everything is down 28% on the month, 30% on the month. Big fat correction, right? Being that if you look in these top 1,000 to 900 mark, you even see coins that are down 70%. Like Sigma is down 70%, Play is down 70%, Tits down 70%. So like big wrecked, right? Pork here, for example. What is the market cap? 16 million, right? Brings me to if the market cap of the lowest coins here within the top 1,000, only 1,000 coins, right, is like Alpaca Finance is 16 million, right? Or even, let's say, 10 million, I don't know, here, FC Barcelona fan token, 14 million, right? Well, then that means that the market caps of everything outside of the top 1,000 is even lower, right? Going to probably, if you go a couple of thousand coins in the ranking, you will find coins that are sub 1 million and even less, right? Which means that all of the liquidity will probably focus on a couple of thousand coins. Still, it doesn't matter how many coins you add to it. Just because someone launched a shitcoin on Pump Fun and rugged it, and now it has a market cap of $10, that doesn't mean that in altcoin season, this coin will attract money. It probably won't. What will attract money, and where the money concentrates on, and what makes most of the altcoin market cap, is going to be these top 1,000 coins, right? So, and many of the meme coins, probably like this Mumu the Bull, maybe they will do well if they have a nice building, but maybe they could fall out, right, as well. They could fall out of this as well. So we don't know. We don't know how many of these 10 million coins actually have something behind it where you could say, okay, that attracts liquidity, right? So that is the first argument. Second one is, what could bring the market back? Let's check this out. So here we see speculators have built the largest ETH short position in history, betting on collapsing ETH prices, as you see here, right? Ether cash settled. So here you see like big fat short position, never unseen in history. Basically the Wall Street dudes saying ETH is trash. That calls for massive short liquidation, right? That calls for the exact opposite happening, to be honest. Big wrecked in the market on the short side could be coming, and that could propel ETH, and that could bring the altcoin market back to life. Stu says meme coins are fun to watch. Yeah, exactly. If you're only watching. By the way, 20 people here, smash up the like button right now for this. So if these shorts get wrecked, the altcoin market could come back big time, right? I can't imagine that these shorts are just going to ride into profit and then get all closed down and that's it. I just can't imagine it. Usually when you see this overextension, someone gets wrecked, and usually that's the shorts in this case, right? Stu says gold all-time high, oh my. Hello PH from OZ. That sounds really nice. That sounds really nice. And Stu, I don't know if you've seen it, but last week we also talked about gold and how it's front-running Bitcoin, how this is going to be amazing for Bitcoin. We are going to look at it today again because it's just so beautiful. Bully Assassin says, hello PH, what are your thoughts on ZBCN has remained green while the market has been red all week? Supposedly it's the next XCN. Wow. Could be. I don't know about this project, so I can't tell you. But sounds like some people are buying it this when everything else is red. So this is also interesting. If this dip, if and when this dip is over, this is going to be the biggest outflow of crypto since the FTX collapse, right? So we had a massive one here, right, at this point, but this is the biggest that we had now since FTX collapsed. And this could be, I mean, you see that the outflows, even then, they are at some point they're done, right? And this could be the end of the outflows, right? So if you survive this, if you hodl through this, if you stacked here, you deserve this bull market, right? You deserve this next leg, this life-changing, wife-changing Lambo leg up that is supposedly coming, right? You deserve this. I sincerely hope that everyone who struggled through this and had to face negativity is going to be rewarded for that. Now, let's have a look at some cycle comparisons, and then we're looking at gold, and then we're looking at Bitcoin dominance for altcoins even more, right? So, of course, this is let's say a little bit different comparison, as these previous cycles did not hit 100K, right? But timing wise or structure wise, this is just about structure, like matching up previous all-time highs here, and then top to top, basically, right? We are seeing that when the dates are aligned, the structure is aligned. But only structure-wise, we see that no matter which cycle you are aligning these, we should have at least one big fat pump to go, right? One leg up at least to go. And I think this would come fairly soon. I don't know if it takes 5 days or 10 days or 14 days, but I think there's the next leg to come fairly soon. And we are already exceeding that time for the past cycle, but for the 2017 cycle, there's more room structure-wise for that. So that is good, right? Let's check out the other ones, right? The other cycle comparisons. Let's refresh here. So this one is, let me just quickly see what. So this is the halving, from the halving, right? So we would be here on the yellow, and we are technically underperforming if we are comparing from the halving. This is the yellow one is ours, and halving a comparison, we are already overdue the next pump. But you also see that no cycle is the same, right? If we are going from the bottom, though, this is the bottom comparison. Let's eliminate the first one. That is always not the best comparison. We are also slightly overdue, but we are very much aligned with the 2017 cycle, right? Which is a pink line. I mean, there's not much. We should have some leg up now. We should have some pump, little bit going higher right now. Maybe there to, I don't know, to 100K again, right? 106K or so. We should come up again. But you see here, we are very much aligned. And yeah, I think now it's crystal clear that we are more aligned with the 2017 cycle than with the other one. Latestly here, we should fly, okay? And then, sorry for that. And then top, let's get this also out. So last top to now is what we basically looked at in the screenshot as well, but we can look here for ourselves. We're just in the middle between the two cycles, right? We're just between the two cycles. we should be rallying, but we still have time according to this comparison. So having to now underperforming, bottom to now, or bottom to where we are now, we are aligned with 2017. Top comparison, we are in the middle, and then we see crossing top of previous cycle. Yeah, this is and the crossing top of previous cycle is a new is underperforming. So I think the first ones they're the best comparisons. Let's stick with those, right? Let's stick with those, see where it brings us. Good. Let's go to gold, as gold is an important one for us to monitor, right? Let's quickly refresh on gold. Give me a second. Quick refresh. And quick realignment. Put it on weekly. There you go, right? There you freaking go. So gold is sitting at new all-time highs, is still pumping. It kind of shows uncertainty in the market, right? I mean, this is gold. Let's quickly put back our Bitcoin comparison, because I think that was made it pretty clear. There you go. I think that one made it pretty clear. We just have to align everything here first. That one makes it pretty clear that the next leg up for Bitcoin, is programmed already, guys. It's programmed already. It's just a. Can you pull the cover image of this video and talk about it? Yes, we will. We will in a second. But let me first get to where it is, right? This is gearing up. This is gearing up to the cover image of this video, okay? The thumbnail. So, you see here, sideways chop and corrective, sideways chop and downwards for Bitcoin, right? Okay, here we see a fat Bitcoin pump after gold rallied for, how long was that? After gold rallied for 147 days, it took Bitcoin from the start of gold's rally to when Bitcoin rallied 140 days. So this lagged, this crypto pump lagged the gold rally by 140 days, okay? So here we are so far lagging 63 days or so, 60 days. So we could be lagging from this gold choppiness a little bit more until we fly, right? Exactly like we did here. This could still look like this, and then you go. I think it's programmed though. I can't imagine that we decouple now after all this time being realigned with gold somehow. So the likelihood that this happens is big. Now, let's talk about altcoins. Just as you said, let's see here. When do you reckon we're going to have alt season? Okay, so first this comes, right? This pump has to come. And now let's look at it here. So what I used on the thumbnail is this here from Crypto Rover, because it's a very nice cleaned up linear chart. But I also have it for you pulled up so we can draw a little bit in it, right? So this is the 2-month market cap for Bitcoin, or Bitcoin dominance, right? 2-month Bitcoin dominance with the stochastic RSI pulled up, right? Bitcoin dominance being basically marked in overbought territory, or oversold if you want to say, for altcoins, right? Oversold altcoins, ready to collapse into the next, like into the level of being going all the way through overbought, right? This is marked for the altcoins, right? So the only thing is that right now we are still moving in sorry, that's the DXY. I've marked the same here basically for you guys so that you can see that just with an overlay of the crypto. Let me see here. That is Bitcoin. Let's put this on the comparison on total 2. So all altcoins, crypto cap. Okay. And you see that here, and here's the stochastic RSI, right? That we talked about. So we are still not. So the levels that Crypto Rover has, they are a little bit different than the standard stochastic RSI, right? But what we see is we are in this heavy let's say overbought level, right? For or oversold level for altcoins here. And we're waiting for this collapse down of stochastic RSI all the way to this downward level, right? As you can see here, that marked our last altcoin season, right? This part here, which was here in dominance, and you see the pink line here in altcoins, right? So you see that the moment that this turns around, the altcoins are going parabolic, but only when the final turnaround is really happening, right? So you see here right now that for Bitcoin dominance, we did not finish rallying yet. We did not finish taking over market cap. At the moment, we had this again, right? Altcoin beatdown, really nasty, and money potentially flowing into two things: stables, ready on the side, and into Bitcoin. Because we see Bitcoin is still at close to sub 100K, like really close to 100K, whereas all the altcoins are suffering a mega beatdown, right? So that tells me something, that still the market is putting that into Bitcoin instead of altcoins, right? And this is the total too. So also the coins that are coming after Bitcoin have held up better than the rest of the altcoin market, maybe with the exception of Ethereum, but even Ethereum, right? Solana, Ethereum, XRP, and so on. They have corrected as well, but not as hard as some of the altcoins. Some altcoins have suffered minus 70% corrections. In my opinion, looking at such a chart, that is still a good buying opportunity for some of these altcoins to stock up a little bit more. Overall, what is necessarily, or why is this rallying still so much? I mean, we are in a very big Bitcoin narrative, right? We have broken out of this thing. We could go higher, right, on Bitcoin dominance. We're talking a lot about Bitcoin in social media and everywhere in the spaces, right? We are talking about institutional adoption. We're talking about countries and counties, municipalities and universities adopting Bitcoin, right? We are talking about ETFs, Bitcoin. We're talking about MicroStrategy, rebranding to strategy, accumulating Bitcoin, right? So everything's Bitcoin, 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 Satoshi Bitcoin, and so on, right? So obviously the attention of everyone is going into Bitcoin, but maybe not forever, because there's some altcoins that are going to make waves. Chainlink is one of them, tokenizing the whole world. Solana, Ethereum, these are others, right? World Liberty Finance buying a lot of Ethereum. Then everyone is piling, like Wall Street piling up Ethereum shorts at the same time, about to get wrecked maybe. It will all, in my opinion, it will all happen this year, right? This breakdown, however it will look, it will happen this year. Yeah. So we will see, right? On this time frame, that would still give us a rising wedge, although we already had broken out of a little bit smaller rising wedge. So of course you can redraw all the time. That was a big fake out. I remember that VeChain is gonna do well. I think so. Yeah, I think VeChain will be doing well, although it got hammered like the rest of the market, right? Yeah, let's maybe take a couple of minutes and look at these distinct coins that we have talked about. Let's look at VeChain here. So VeChain got rejected here at this level. It did not break out on the monthly chart, right? Maybe, hopefully, after this correction. And by the way, there are still 18 days. So such a candle that we see right now can still become a breakout candle depending on how the month moves, right? Either way, what I would like to see is that VeChain maintains this uptrend here, right? And coils up in this manner to a breakout, right? You remember that I know there's a lot of lines, and I hope you can see what I'm talking about, but I really want to let this drawn in. I think that you see this even in this prediction, this massive sell-off here before the turnaround and the breakout. This could still happen, right? But VeChain is highly dependent on the rest of the market, and the altcoins are dependent on Bitcoin doing its thing. So what we first need is that Bitcoin follows gold, pumps up, and then money trickles into the altcoins, right? So I still keep my targets for VeChain as take profit targets, 8 cents, which we almost reached, 8 cents, 20 cents, and then 45 cents, right? Those are my targets. Taking profit along the way is important in case you don't hit your final target, right? That could happen all the time. Could it go way more? Yes, of course. But yeah, we see here. Ecomi in a second, right? But let's check it out. So let's check out Mcade quickly, which we also had here, right? For Mcade, we have the same thing. It did not get beyond this overhead resistance, right? Got rejected here, came out, sold off, got rejected, sold off, got rejected, question mark, right? Is there a chance to form an inverse head and shoulders, something? Yeah, maybe this wick is 1 millimeter short. There could be something like that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, pump, right? We thought double bottom, maybe pump. That was a big fat fake out, but already that was really juicy. So we're going for another round of correction for example, Mcade, right? Let's check out Devve. We had somewhere more, I think Gate.io, yeah. So Devve, I think Devve is doing exactly what we said it's doing, right? You remember we said that after hitting this high, we could be rejected, coming all the way down to 90 cents. We did. Actually, we wicked a little bit lower than that even. So for Devve, hopefully we're finding support here and then smash through this, and then we go on price discovery, right? Remember, that all requires the entire market to come back, right? And I am a big fan of looking at weekly and monthly charts because they just show you better where resistances are, right? You see the bounce that is happening here. That could be it, right? That could be the correction. Not guaranteed. You could also come back all the way to 40 cents, right? And then everyone's crying, obviously. But you see also this falling wedge breakout, right? Playing out so beautifully, coming back all the way back here. Of course, this chart pattern is complete, right? But then there could be the next pattern emerging, right? Which could be something like this. Okay, so but this like for traders, this one was the dream because you could just buy here on the breakout and take what is on the breakout of Devve, that is 1100% pump. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? So this is nice. This is crazy. Now you want to see some kind of a recovery here, right? yeah, so that is that. Let's also check out Solana maybe. Solana. And then yeah, okay, this time I found it directly. So Solana trying to hold above this, and this is why you look at the monthly chart usually. So you have this overhead you have this overhead resistance here, right? Broke, trying to flip it into support, right? Faking out multiple times. And the reason being, it's being basically compressed into this support and this all-time high, right? Of course, resistance is extremely strong. The moment that Solana manages to break out of this high substantially, like with a monthly candle close, sorry about that. Oh, God, there we go. The moment that Solana manages to go and break out here, it's going to fly much higher, I think. How much, I don't know. Price discovery, you never know. And that's where you take profits along the way, right? Alts run Q4, cycle to repeat. I mean, there was another cycle where alts ran in Q1, but I think, was it last cycle? Let's see. Alts did run here. Okay, you're right. They started running in November 20 and they ran all the way into September 21. Which would be, though, 4 years from now, starting to run in the end of 24 and running all the way into September, right? Into September 25. So why do you say it's Q4 25, right? Doesn't make any sense. The same as here, like all starting to run 1st of May and then ran all the way into November 27. So now we see here alts started to run already in July or in the end of even I mean, this is the total 2 going up since a longer time, right? Is it total 2 or is it? Yeah, it's total 2. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think that you can make it only up on months, right? I think you need to compare it to other factors that make this run, right? And it doesn't matter then exactly on the month. Also, the cycles are not running exactly on the same month. So I think that's a little bit short-sighted, right? Now, let's go to USDT. So what we have here is the dominance on USDT. And I think I want to really highlight this once more, right? So the USDT dominance going up means that in comparison to the current market cap, which is X trillion, I don't know, 2 trillion or something like that, crypto market cap, right? The entire crypto market cap, a 4.54% share is in USDT, okay? Right now. This goes down, it means the percentage share of USDT is going down in comparison to crypto. Usually meaning with a high correlation that USDT is being allocated to the market to buy coins. It also can mean that some other form of payment is flowing into the crypto market or gets share, like USDC gets more share, but the impact still is very, very low, as USDC dominance is looking the same. I want to remind you that we have a big, fat head and shoulders pattern here, right? This being the right shoulder, and we're just waiting for this right shoulder to complete here and break down with confirmation, right? And that will be the moment that this starts to fly. Because you see, this goes down, this goes up, right? This being Bitcoin right now. Yeah, you can also go here for total 2, and probably it's going to look a little bit similar. Yeah, so you see here this goes down, total 2 cryptos are pumping, right? In this completely inverse, you see this goes high, crypto is dumping into a bear market, and so on, right? So right now we have ourselves a small rising channel again at this flag situation here, right? Where crypto is on a corrective. This rising channel may be playing out a little bit longer. It has a higher likelihood to break to the downside, right? I think it's not going to take too long. Also here we might see some move out of the altcoins fairly soon, just because this is at the overhead resistance of the small channel and likely to take a turn to the downside, allocating a couple, like 0.4% of all USDT to the market again, right? Something like that. It could be happening right now, as we already see the first small red blip here, and last time that was, you see a bigger allocation towards the market. So this might be a thing. Okay, so lastly, let's look at Ecomi. Okay, there we go. So here, we're observing this wedge on a monthly. Someone asked about a price. Yeah, Dan O says, give me an end of year price prediction for OMI just for fun. I would say, in case, and I think that can happen, that Ecomi breaks this falling wedge to the upside with confirmation, we are going to rally towards this part of the falling wedge, right? And challenge this high, and that's probably going to be it. Yeah, I think that's it. 0073 or so is then going to be the high. This is still a nice return if you're buying the lows. If you bought up there, then you have a problem, and not this year, but that would be a rough 25x from where we are right now. I think that's at least what I would expect structure-wise at the moment, but I would be very hesitant until I see a breakout, right? And also, after this breakout, you need a decisive breakout out of this level to be really fine, because this is big fat overhead resistance, right? Here we are going to hit our head hard. As many people are going to take big profits at 001, people that bought down here after making 4x roughly from this trade. Okay, so that's what I expect. Now let's see. We have a comment here from Ben Rose, and I think there's a lot of things moving also for Veve. The collectibles market isn't just for kids anymore. It's booming among adults. Collecting takes them back to the future, back into their past, I think, and the data proves it. A recent article from The Guardian highlights how collectibles have evolved into a 510 million pound, so 630 million sector in the UK alone, right? So more than $500 million in the UK alone, driven by anime, manga, and pop culture brands. What's even more interesting, the rise of kidult category, where adults are proudly engaging in the hobby, fueling demand for limited edition and artist design collectibles. This trend isn't new. Star Wars figures in the 70s and Care Bears in the 80s showed us the power of nostalgia, but today digital platforms like Veve, streaming, and social media have accelerated the global appetite for collectibles, from vending machines, surprises, to high-end alert toys. Collectors are not just buying products, they are engaging with brands, building communities, and seeking exclusive experiences. For brands and business, the opportunity is massive. The smartest companies are leaning into fandom, collaborating with artists and embracing new distribution models, both physical and digital, as we step further into 2025. The question isn't whether collectibles will continue to thrive, but how brands will innovate to meet this demand. The real winners will be those who understand that collecting isn't just a transaction, it's an experience. Well, I think this is good. So this is more on like a professional level, the ones that are interested in the market development. Really good to have this outlook, and I think that's true, right? First of all, from a financial perspective, also the entire collectible market is down, right? It's down from Rolex over physical Marvel comics, over Pokemon cards. Everything's down, right? Compared to where it was in the hype cycle. The second thing is adoption is still there. Like the wish, the people want to still do that, right? People still want to buy stuff, right? But they can't at the moment. Money is tightened. So money is not, there's no spare money at the moment. Once that spare money is coming back, these things will fly, and then it's also not so much a problem to spend $50 on a Veve drop, right? And that is really the whole point. The market is there, and the money, like the theoretical wish to ape into that market is also there. Like, do I have a wish to buy a graded Pokemon card? Yes, of course. I still want to have that. Do I wish to buy more Golden Moment or stuff like that on Veve? Yeah, I still want that. Do I have the money at the moment? Well, a little bit more tight, right? And also attention is on Bitcoin. Like even altcoins are a little bit in the gutter. So we have to wait. And obviously for me, there's only one section, right, in Veve that really, like, from a collector heart interests me. The rest is financial opportunity from my eyes, right? I'm not in Veve only for that collective aspect, but also for the financial aspect. There's nothing to hide here, in my opinion, right? Let's check out also what's going on Veve for quickly. Pokemon is not down PH, it is in all-time high. Not necessarily, in my opinion, but we can analyze that a little bit later. So I don't think that you have all-time highs on all the prints that came out. I don't know if Evolving Skies work. I might pull that up for the next stream. I think on Card Market you can see the price development and the prices that have been paid since a longer time. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, Sven. Let's see about that. So there we go. So Veve has this brandalized collectible here, the Flying Balloon Girl, which I think is Banksy graffiti or so. So, and that was if I'm not mistaken, I just saw something funny, but if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1 million MCP point drop. So this is for the ones that have that many MCPs. I don't have that. I don't have that many MCP, but I'm also going to save up my MCP. So we will see how valuable those MCPs are, right? Or we are seeing that with this drop. I didn't look up how much was sold or is sold. I saw something funny because we said that with this heart, I also got one of these hearts, but that they are not going to burn it. And see here, as we continue to support LA Strong Heart Initiative, donations from primary market sales will be kept on February 28th, obviously, because they cannot be sending this all the time. Like you would have to hire someone to execute this for forever, right? After this date, any remaining LA Strong Heart collectible will be delisted from the store, not burned, because we said it would be a little bit shabby to burn this, right? So they get delisted. Everything else gets burned, but these are delisted, right? Making final opportunity to collect this meaningful collect. So yeah, don't worry, no one has to buy this. So our hearts are a little bit more scarce. Newest print, Prismatic Evolution is 100 to 140 for just ETB. Moonbryon and Sunbryon new cards are 1,000 plus euros. I'm in the hobby for years. Pokemon is, but what about like take something that was also on the new print hype, like Evolving Skies. Is Evolving Skies still at all-time highs, for example? Or what about graded Charizard, right? Is that on all-time highs, or did the price come back on those, right? Because the newest is always higher, even on Veve. Like something new that dropped, secret rare, blah, is going high, and then it comes down, right? So that's what I meant. But no issues there. Yeah, so that for Veve. What's up, G? Hey, garlic powder, what's going on? I will go for it, whatever. Yeah, send it. You go for the balloon girl. So it went. The balloon girl was already. I think. I clicked wrong though. What the heck? Okay, so that is that. Yeah, the balloon girl did drop yesterday. Evolving Skies, $800+. Ooh, nice. So that's good because I still have what is it called? A build and battle stadium thingy, right? The one with these extra like bonus cards. I still have a fully sealed one in my basement. So that must be now pretty nice. Yeah, so then Pokemon is really on the rise, because I remember that Evolving Skies, when I looked it up a year ago, 2 years ago, it was like $100-something for that. So yeah, you may be right. Pokemon might be flying hard. Not the craft, it's today. Oh, the craft is today. Okay, there you go. The craft is today, so we will see how these MCP points are flying out of people's pockets. But that sounds good. The craft is today. So much luck on the craft energy. Guys, don't forget to smash up the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel if you watch this later. Let me know. Also like this video even if you watch it later today. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I see you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one.